Good evening. It's me. It's Triple B. Let's spill that tea. Welcome to this week's episode of Beastie Weekly, where we spill that tea and talk about everything going on in the fantasy, sci-fi, horror, bookish world. Thank you for joining us. In our top story, once again, we go back to Brandon Sanderson, Brando Sando. He released a video on his YouTube channel talking about Ghostbloods, Mistborn Era 3. The first book is set to release in 2028. Now, Wind of Truth, of course, came out in 2025, and people have been asking him and saying, why is it taking so long? Usually there's a new Cosmere book out every year or so. And he wanted to share why. As usual, Brandon Sanderson is very transparent with his fans, likes to share what's going on, let you know what he's thinking, what's going on behind the scenes. And he just discussed that that's how it was for a long time, but sometimes getting a book out every year, especially big chunky books like that, a lot goes into it and it can make everyone involved feel rushed. And he just wanted to take his time, enjoy the process, and get out the best book he can for Mistborn Era 3. So I'm cool with that, man. I got some catching up to do. That's what I have to say. So take your time, Brandon. Although he did slip in it and he said Ghostbloods would be out 2026, the fall of 2026. Was it a mistake? Was it a little slip up? Or was it not? It definitely was. Look for Ghostbloods, book 1 of Mistborn Era 3 in 2028. But for now, enjoy all the big catalog he already has. Turning to video games, this past week, the demo for Resident Evil 9 became available. Looks fantastic. I cannot wait to play it and make a little content for this channel. We all love horror, and Resident Evil was the game that got me into horror, especially horror gaming back in the day. Resident Evil 2 specifically. Claire Redfield and Leon Kennedy will be my team forever. My favorite team. There's rumors that Leon will be in this game, but no one has said anything or seen anything yet. But for now, we know we may play a new character, and it continues the events that have happened in Resident Evil 7 and 8, which I still need to play, but this looks like a lot of fun. Let me know if you checked it out. Staying in video games, some exciting news for fans of a certain animated movie that has taken the world by storm and has songs such as "We're going up, up, up." You know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about K-pop Demon Hunters. They are coming to Fortnite. That's right. If you play Fortnite, you probably already knew this. I do not. My kids do, and they let me know that pretty soon you will be able to have the characters from K-pop Demon Hunters play as them in Fortnite. How fun. I'm terrible at that game. I die instantly. So if it's your thing or if you're interested in it, check it out. There'll be a link down below to the article that talks about it. Adaptation news, something that I was today years old when I found out, when I was researching for this episode, was that there is an animated series planned for Magic the Gathering. Many people love Magic the Gathering, the games, the cards, everything involved, the books, and they are making an animated series, and they are saying that it is going to be faithful and do justice to the expansive mythology of Magic the Gathering. So, let me know if you ever did anything with Magic the Gathering. If you're excited about this, there'll be a link down below to more information. No release date set yet, but they're working on it. And also in adaptation news, as many people know, ACOTAR, A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J. Maas, popular book series, really blew up with the romantasy rush of recent years. I read the first book and I actually liked it, and I'm looking forward to continuing on with the series. But there was a show that was planned. Disney had the rights. Hulu was going to stream it, and they were all set to go and start, but it kind of fell apart. And it was announced in February that Hulu was dropping it and that Disney's rights would be coming to an end in the end of summer. So now those rights have ended. So word on the street is who's going to pick it up. With this big franchise that is so popular to so many people, someone is bound to. I scoured the internet. I cannot find any cemented leads or rumors to give you, but I did want to share that now that Disney's rights to it have ended, it's anybody's game. So keep an eye out on Beastie Weekly and on the news if you're a fan of ACOTAR. I think someone's going to pick it up soon. I would be shocked if they don't. In other bookish news, a couple of recent surveys were done and released to the public that I wanted to touch on. The first one is that Stephen King's books are the #1 banned books in schools with all of the book banning things going on. Mixed feelings on this. You know, obviously, there's a certain age that kids should probably be able to read Stephen King, but I remember reading Stephen King at a pretty young age and loving it, and I turned out all right. I think so. So I understand keeping it out of the hands of really young kids. And you know, we all know the end of it. All right. We don't need to talk about that. There are some things that kids shouldn't read. But I'm not going to get into too much into that. I just thought it was interesting that his book was by far the most banned author in this study that they did. And along those lines of more bad news for reading in the book community, there was a survey done by University of Florida and University College London from 2003 to 2023. They took a look at following the reading habits and reading purposes of many different people, and they found that over that time span, reading for fun, for pleasure, decreased by 40%. So basically, the reading that was being done was mostly being done for study, for learning, for school, and things like that. And reading for fun has dropped by around 2 to 3% per year, with the people involved in the study, of course. You know, I think it's not everyone in the whole world, but things like this, you see more and more that reading is dying, that reading is not what it used to be. I've seen that some as a teacher, kids are really starting to look at it as they get older and older as homework, as something they're forced to do. And you see them lose that light in their eyes and that love of reading that they have at a young age. And most of them rediscover it as they get older and they start picking books they want to read. And I've seen that happen too, working with high school students. But things like this are always a bummer to see. But let's hope that with our community and with us being positive about books and talking about books and loving on books, that we can get that percentage to go back up so that people can read for fun like we do. Next up here, we've got a segment that I like to call Brightness Booked, looking at the positive, feel-good things in the bookish world. First up, one close to home on the Bearded Book Beast. As you know, I do podcasts, live interviews with authors and content creators and others in the bookish space called Beast Friends Forever, which is always a great time. Check it out. Check it out if you haven't yet. But recently, I was speaking with a former guest, awesome indie author, Trinity Cunningham. Check out her books. They'll be linked down below. But she let me know that her daughter, who is only 10, loves watching the podcast and the show, which I think is awesome. Maybe my youngest fan. But Nessie, you are awesome. Thank you for being interested in bookish things and hearing about authors and writing and reading. And I love that you like books and you like reading. And I love having you here, Nessie. So shout out to you. You are awesome. Spread that love of reading to your friends and to the world. We need more kiddos like you out there, Nessie. So awesome job. And along those same lines, another awesome story that I found involves someone by the name of Dan Pelser from Columbus, Ohio. Dan Pelser unfortunately passed away recently at the age of 92, but he left behind a legacy that is quickly becoming something awesome in the book community. Now, Dan was a big reader of multi-genres. He really thought reading and learning and escaping through books was something that he really enjoyed and loved and thought was important. So from the time he started reading, he cataloged and wrote down every book that he read. And his family knew about this. They all loved it. So at his funeral, they actually made a booklet with a QR code, and it had a link to the list of all his books. They made little bookmarks with his picture, and it was a big thing. But it caught wind and got outside of the funeral and the family, and it has taken off And you can, in the link down below, you can see the link to his list and all the books that he's read, but it's spreading to the libraries in that area and even further across the country. You'll see things, what Dan read, and it's getting people excited to read some of the older books that he read, the newer books that he read, all the different genres. He kept track from 1962 to 2025 in July when he passed away at 92. For over 60 years, he kept track of books, and he logged 3,599 books. That is awesome. It's very cool, very exciting. So Dan, may you rest in peace, my friend, but you left behind a fantastic legacy. Prayers to his family. He sounds like an amazing guy. I'm sure that they are missing him, but what an awesome thing to leave behind. And we thank you for your love of reading and for you sharing it with people and the exciting thing that has happened from your life. So awesome stuff. Next up, I want to talk about something fun that's going to be coming up next week, and that is some spooky season book recs from some content creators and authors in the community. I'm going to talk about...
Beast. I'm in. Hi, I'm Josh from Already Overbooked, and I just hacked into Kristen's computer. I don't have that much time, but I needed to go through and talk to you about the scariest book that I've ever gone through and read, and that is The Troop by Nick Cutter. This is about a Boy Scout troop who goes camping on an island. It sounds wholesome, right? Wrong. Because something else shows up on the island and starts spreading so fast. It is body horror. It is intensity. And the children are up against the unimaginable. And Nick Cutter does not hold back in this book. You feel every hunger, every thirst, every paranoia, every intensity. You will finish this book checking yourself. Was I infected too? It is the type of story that keeps you up, that keeps you glued, that makes you go through and double check everything around you. It is such an amazing gem, and I highly go through and recommend it. Oh no, time's running out. Go through, pick up The Troop, and remember, stay overbooked.
Oh, I think we're back. I don't know what happened there. That was unexpected. Thank you, Josh, for cutting in and taking control of my channel, but that was a really good book rec. I agree. So look forward to next week on Beastie Weekly. We're going to have lots of people from the bookish community dropping some spooky book recs, so look forward to that, my friends. And to the rest of the month and going forward, we'll have guest spots, some interviews, some people popping in to give us some recommendations or answer funny questions or share memories. I have a lot of fun things planned, so look forward to more of that in the coming weeks. We love it here on the Bearded Book Beast and Beastie Weekly when one of our children decides to make a smoothie and start running the blender in the middle of a video. It's fantastic. Isn't it chopped up good enough by now? Are you making water? Speaking of the book community and the bookish space, I want to give a shout out to to Ramble, Austin and Richard, two awesome guys with a fantastic booktube channel. They are doing a great job. They just passed 50K subscribers. Congrats to you both. And here's to the next 50K. You guys are awesome. You guys' show is awesome. The humor is addicting. Your friendship is fantastic and wholesome. And the banter back and forth is what we all love. And it's just a great mix of in-depth reviews of things, plus zany, silly, goofy nonsense. And we all love it. And we all love you guys. So keep it up. Keep doing what you're doing. And like I said, here's to the next 50K, my friends. Let's talk about some books that are coming out this week that I'm excited about here at Bearded Book Beast and Beastie Weekly. First up, a special edition of a book long released, We Are Legion from the Bobiverse, Book 1, We Are Bob, which of course focuses on the character Bob, who dies in a very crossing the street in a very silly way, and eventually he wakes up centuries later, and his corpsicle is being used. He's being uploaded into computer hardware. He's going to be in a little drone probe thing that's going to go out in space and try to find habitable planets, and it kicks off from there. But there's a special edition coming out. This is a series I've always wanted to check out, so I pre-ordered this bad boy. You can see it here. Sprayed edges, looks cool. Excited about that one coming out this week. Next up, we have a new book from R.A. Salvatore in the Drizzt universe. But this will not be Drizzt this time. No, it'll be his daughter, who is the main character in this book. Sounds like a lot of fun. I'm way behind in Drizzt. I've only read the first book, so I'm not going to read anything about this. I don't want to spoil anything. Hopefully him having a daughter didn't spoil anything for anyone else, but it sounds exciting, and I cannot wait to get there eventually. Then we also have a book called Twice by Mitch Albom, who of course has told many inspirational stories and books through the years. Twice is about Alfie Logan, who discovers that he has the magical ability to get a second chance at everything. He can undo any moment and live it again. The one catch, he must accept the consequences of his second try, for better or for worse. So he goes through life doing a lot of silly things, getting out of jams, erasing embarrassing moments, and then eventually he falls in love, thinks they are the one, and as the years go by, and some of those relationship changes and contentment and things that happen in every relationship start to settle in, and he starts to wonder, should he redo it? But does he want to erase the life and the love that he's built with this person? So, sounds pretty entertaining, and I like Mitch Albom's writing, so I'm excited to check that one out. Then we have Queen Demon from Martha Wells. This is the sequel to The Witch King that came out a few years ago. I have that book. Have not read it yet, but I want to because I love Murderbot, and I'd love to check out this series. So this is the sequel to that, so I'm excited to get to that eventually. Then we also have The Second Chance Cinema by Thea Weiss. A magical theater atop a cobblestone path alters what a couple knows about themselves and each other. In this scintillating debut, brimming with nostalgia and life-affirming wonder. This sounds like a good little wholesome, inspirational kind of story, feel-good story. So I'm excited to check that one out. Then we have one that sounds hilarious that I'm really excited about. It is called Colin Gets Promoted and Dooms the World. This is by Mark Waddle. And it says, the tagline says, under no circumstances must employees strike a deal with unauthorized personnel on Dark Enterprises property. Such behavior may result in death or the end of the world. Colin is a low-level employee at Dark Enterprises, a hell-like multinational corporation solving the world's most difficult problems in deeply questionable ways. After years of toiling away in a cubicle, he's ready to climb the corporate ladder and claim the power he's never had. The only problem is, he's pretty sure he's about to be terminated. Colin meets a shadowy figure, promising his deepest desire in return for a small, unspecified favor. He can't resist the urge to fast-track his goals. He asks for one thing that will improve his life. A promotion. But that small favor unleashes an ancient evil. People in New York are disappearing. The world might be ending, and management is starting to notice. Getting to the top is never easy, and now it's up to Colin to save the world. It's the ultimate power move, after all. Sounds like a lot of fun. And finally, a book that I think I just want because of the cover and mostly the title. It's called Man This House. It has 6 stories in it from Brian Assman. In the titular story, Man F This House, Sabrina Haskins and her family have just moved into their dream home. At first glance, it's perfect, but things aren't what they seem. Sabrina's hearing odd noises, seeing strange visions. The neighbors are odd or absent, and Sabrina's already fraught relationship with her son is about to be tested in a way no parent could ever imagine. Because while the Haskins family might be the newest owners of this house, they're far from the only residents. So this sounds like a blast. I love collections. This cover looks awesome. And the name, I mean, let me know if there's any books coming out this week that I missed that you're excited about. And finally, this week is the Amazon Prime Deals Day sale, but it's awesome. They usually have great deals, especially on books. That is October 7th and 8th. Get ready, be excited. Look for some shorts and some videos from me on those 2 days, showing you all the great book deals so that you don't have to search them up yourselves. It's going to be fun. I always look forward to this day, and I'm always able to get some great deals on things. So get excited. Amazon Prime Day deals, October 7th and 8th this week. Thank you for watching, Beasties. This has been Beastie Weekly here at the Bearded Book Beast. We appreciate you taking the time out of your day to watch this, and we hope you enjoyed the fantasy news of this week. Let us know if there's any awesome stories you heard about that we missed, because we love to hear from you, and we appreciate you and your support. That's it for now. This is Beastie Weekly, signing off. And until we see you in that next one, be brave, be beautiful to one another, and be beastly. Good night, everybody. Have a great weekend. See you next week. For fans of a certain animated movie. Okay. Speaking of the channel and speaking of the bookish community and bookish space, and book rec. All right. Man, isn't it blended enough? Is it blended enough? Good Lord. This is the sequel to... Is that the sequel to? And we'll be sure. Speaking of the bookish community, I would like to give a